with Nina and Kenya.
Yes.
Where we talk about all things being black,
being a woman,
being a wife,
being a mama,
being a performer,
and being a Christian,
and all the things. And how none of that can balance, but you can. She can't never be regular. Okay.
Ooh. Sing, honey. We have such a special guest today.
We do.
As special as can be.
And we're going to introduce her in just a minute.
Y'all have been, we have been.
A lot.
Long,
probably on at least 6 episodes.
At least. Yes.
She's a part of Nina's team.
Yes, she is.
Yes. Part of the team.
Yes, Team Nina.
Essential part of Team Nina. Very essential part. Before we introduce her, though, we want to take a moment to acknowledge the tragedy in Las Vegas and the many disasters and things that are happening in the world right now, and to let you know that we are not going to talk about it on the show. There was, when 9/11 happened, I was in grad school, and the president of the university made a decision to keep classes going, and he left it up to the discretion of the individual professors, whether or not you held class or held space for people who needed to talk about what was happening, because some students needed the normalcy of their routine in order to cope. And so we are choosing to be that space in podcast land, because there are many podcasts with very, very, very intelligent people who are discussing those events and the ramifications and what led up to them and all of those things. Everything. And because we kind of went there when the hurricanes happened, we are choosing to be the other space. So for people that need some normalcy or need to redirect their energy another way, we are not going to deeply dive into those things, but we do want to acknowledge, that
our hearts go out to Puerto Rico, our hearts go out to Vegas, our hearts go out to, all of those things that we talked about in our previous episodes about how to deal with your life when you have these world issues that are going on around you that you're deeply affected by. But the art keeps getting produced. Life don't stops.
Episode 3.
And so we want to be able to continue on.
Yes.
And so just know that if you are one of those who are affected, that we are thinking and praying with you.
Absolutely. So. And so now,
yes,
without further ado,
all right,
we would like to introduce our guest, who is
not going to clap
looking horrified.
That thing.
I'm going to put the sound effects.
Sound effects. That thing. Okay. So here we go.
So
the
funny.
Beautiful.
The fabulous.
The wonderful.
The talented.
Yes. Rashida
Van Leer. Okay, so we clapped anyway. Yes. Everybody, it's my cousin. It's my trainer from Iron Koi Fitness. What?
Yes.
Say hi, Rashida.
Hello.
I'm gonna have to pick up the mic and shove it.
Okay. I pride myself on personal space.
Yes. We got her all close.
I know.
We got her
all eyeball.
All close. But see, she is wearing her Fenty Beauty, and that highlighter is popping, honey.
Always popping.
The skin is sun-kissed. There is no sun in Cleveland, Ohio right now, but yet Rashida's skin is sun-kissed. Glowing, eyebrows is did. Okay? Even the beautiful tops that she wears, the rose-colored top is bringing out the rosiness in her cheeks.
Oh, that's not rosiness. That's a Moscow Mule.
That's whatever it is. It looks like blush, so it's cute.
Well, that's the Moscow Mule.
Okay.
Shout out to Rihanna.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Because among the many things that she is a mother, and she is a business owner, she is a trainer, all those things. She's also a certified makeup artist. She has beat my face on quite a few occasions as I went for screen tests and things, and yes.
I dibble and dabble. I like to keep it creative.
The cutest fitness person
Thank
I ever
you.
did see.
Thank you. Oh. Now that's not Moscow Mule. That's that natural affect.
That's right.
That's that natural blush.
So Rashida, we're gonna stop talking, let you talk a little bit. Can you tell us what is Iron Koi?
What is Iron Koi?
Yeah.
How did Iron Koi start?
Both.
Well, yeah.
So I have to be honest. I am a person that doesn't live within the confines of boxes. So Iron Koi is still very much being formed, and it's constantly growing and morphing and changing into something. But as it stands today, I would consider Iron Koi like the Fight Club of fitness.
What happens in Fight Club
Stays in Fight Club.
Exactly. I cater to my clients, all different shapes, sizes,
ages.
We go from 13 to 94. Actually, 94 is my oldest client.
Yep.
I have clients with disabilities and limitations, and then I have some with zero limitations. And I don't have a particular demographic that I look for. I just want to help people.
Oh, okay.
And that's how Iron Koi started. Okay. It really was selfishly something that I was doing for myself. And then other people kind of started joining along, so to speak. And then
started peeping the journey.
Yes, child. They started. What I wanted to know was, so it sounds like you're getting us into when it kind of started for you.
Oh, so when it started for me was I used to do freelance makeup, like Nina said, and I worked with the photographer Cameron Khan,
who will be on the show one day.
I was going to say she's
I know you've been talking about. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
we are really good friends, and
Yes.
we actually started our business. She started her business maybe a year or so before me.
Okay.
And we met on social media, and we would talk, just briefly. And she had a contest that she was doing for a photo shoot, and she's like, if you repost this, then you'll get a free photo shoot. And I was looking for an opportunity to display my work and kind of get in front of the camera, because I thought it was the cat's meow. So,
And she was, and she is.
You still agree?
well, thank you.
Okay.
But I was a different cat.
Yeah. Right.
It was more like a big cat,
Yeah. Okay.
and not so much a small domestic cat.
Right. Can we ever be domesticated at this point?
I mean, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I reposted her contest so many times. I was the only person who did. It must have been like, I don't know, maybe it ran for a week.
Okay.
And I probably set an alarm to post it like 3 times every minute or so.
Right.
And I would just keep posting and retagging her. And I won. She contacted me to do the photo shoot. I wanted to do this photo shoot called Makeup Junkie. And so the objective, and I still have the pictures of the photo shoot, was like how I love makeup, how I'm just like a junkie for makeup. So had on like bomb red lipstick. I had on this cat suit with like studs around
That sounds like me in my 20s.
I was definitely not in my 20s.
Oh my god. Well, that's even better. Oh my god.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was not bad.
Cash sign. I'm saying, it was tough.
Oh, bad
like
that
that.
way.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes, it was.
like-
This
It
is
was-
G-hedo language.
Yeah, right. There you go.
No, it was bad in that
Okay,
sense.
it was
Absolutely.
And so it had like studs on the knees, and then I had some shoes that were like completely studded out.
Oh my gosh.
And then we were at this graffiti wall on West 25th.
Yes.
And it was like,
oh, I know that wall.
yeah.
Yes.
So it was like bright colors,
Yes.
and then it was like, I had lipstick, like I was injected it in my
Right.
veins. And, it was so fun. And then I
She's
had
not
like
dramatic at all.
I know, right?
laying down on the ground with the airbrush machine like in my hand.
Oh,
and
my God.
it was just so fun.
That's fantastic.
And I took my daughter at the time, she may have been 4 or 5. I took her with me. And after I did this fabulous photo shoot, so I thought, she's like, Mom, I just want to let you know that you have a tattoo on your butt and I can see it through your leggings. And I was like, what a world. Help me. I won't forget the date. It was in July. I believe it was July 21st. The next day, I signed up for a gym.
Oh, really?
Serious. The next day.
No, I don't understand. So was the tattoo that I'm trying
what happens when you stretch material?
So what she was saying was the material was stretched.
Girl, I see all your business. While you thinking you're cute, you done stretched that thing a little too far, mother.
I can't. Oh my God.
So, the next day, I signed up for a gym. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Planet Fitness because I was kind of ashamed of myself.
Right.
And I didn't really know what to wear. And, so in sweatpants, you look bigger. And just a terrible thing. So I would go like 2 a.m. And then I went for like a week. And I was like, forget this.
Right.
This is not the place for me.
It's not gyms are not the most welcoming place.
Not at 2 a.m. either.
No. I don't care.
You and the janitor?
Yeah.
So from that point on, I was like, okay, I'm clearly not ready to go into the gym, but I can start to teach myself about food. Okay. And I had another friend who hired a trainer, and she didn't have any kids, and she was her own responsibility. So I would just pick her brain, and she kind of gave me a seed, and I went digging. Okay. And I lost 50 pounds.
Wow.
And
yeah, she did.
It was like the first 10. The first 10 was like, okay, let's see what we can do 10 more. And then it was 50. Okay. I looked up and it was 50. Wow. And I remember going to work, and I had bent over to pick up a chart. And the doctor was like, I mean, crack or nah? Because apparently my whole crack was hanging out. My pants were so big that I hadn't even, I hadn't paid attention to how small I was.
Right.
And he said, he's like, we probably should put some money in the budget to get you some new clothes because you can't keep walking around here in this. And when I put my pants up, I'm like, you know what? He's right. So that was the first 50 pounds. And then I had a really good friend that you should have on the show too. His name is Alan Rice. He's also a trainer. Okay. And I contacted him. He was going through his certification at the time. Okay. And I was like, you should train me. Okay. And he would come to my house at 5 a.m. every morning, and we would do all kinds of stuff in the gym or in my apartment. Okay. And then I kind of outgrew the space.
Oh, okay.
And so I lost another 20 pounds.
Wow.
And then we would go to the gym early in the morning. I was like, dude, I'm paying you to work out with me. Right. I think you can do this
just
myself.
Right. Yes. Right.
And
Thank
so,
you. Goodbye.
See you later. I mean, love you, but I could save these coins. Right. And so I did that. I invested in getting my certification, and I really got my certification just selfishly for myself. It wasn't for someone else. Okay. And the more I learned, the more I started doing, and then I lost the whole 100.
Wow.
And then I got contacted from another friend, and she's like, you should do competitive bodybuilding. And so I started.
I think was that when you were telling me about?
Yeah, that was just really the start. Well, it's been about 5 or 6 years now.
That's about right.
Because Narayan is 5.
Well, then there it is.
That's about the time, because we give her credit for baby number 4 and 5 of mine.
Yes. I would get that baby snatched. Right. And then Jana would mess it up.
Oh, right.
I mean, purposefully and God blessed, but he would mess it up.
She's on a beautiful, I'm telling you guys, I've mentioned this before. If you watch Nina shrink, it's amazing. It is. It really is amazing.
It is.
And it's great to see more of herself coming out, personality wise.
Because she's so kind to me, even when I'm bad.
Oh no.
Well, I think you have to when you're bad, you're bad. But I think there are times that sometimes people don't realize that behaviors that you display in terms of your wherever you are in your fitness have everything to do with what you have going on. So usually people can be more diligent in the winter because there's nothing to do.
Right.
Which is why I never understand why people take off during the fall. Like you should work your butt off from, I should be like stuffed from like August at least until March. But you just ride the wave however it goes. But summer bodies are built in the winter, not in the spring.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep,
that's true.
But she the one. She
is the one.
Once I memorized,
you gave me some little tips because I came to visit and I was like, oh, I'm having one of those. And Rashida's funny. She was like, okay, what you want to do to yourself is almost laughable.
Yeah.
Because, but you know what? It's because I'm working from the standpoint of an athlete who's now growing older. Yeah, I said it. So what? Okay.
It's the truth.
Yeah, that's what's happening. And so because of that, my body changed.
Absolutely.
With pregnancy. I am a black woman. I also happen to like to eat, so I've never had the issue of, I can't eat, at least not to that extent. My lifestyle was different for a long time. Even when, married, I still lived in New York, which is a walkable community. And even if you have a car in New York, you still there's such a hustle happening. You don't even know how many calories you don't even think about that.
And honestly, when you really shouldn't, fitness is so much simpler than people make it.
Yeah.
It is a simple mathematical equation.
Talk to us about that.
Yes.
Yeah. What is okay? Wait, because I want you to say this on the show because it's now a joke that you and I have, and I get tickled whenever somebody says, let's role play. I just want my thighs to be smaller, Rashida, and I don't want all those muscles. So how can we do that?
Lord,
and this is always her response.
Go on, hit him up.
I'm so sorry, but my plastic surgery license has expired. If you would like me to make a recommendation, I would be happy to do that.
That is super fierce.
End scene.
And so why is that the case?
Because there are so many factors that have to do with what the outcome of your journey looks like. People think, first of all, it's a simple mathematical equation. Input and output should equal expectation. Okay? So if you put in a whole bunch of trash. And don't put a whole bunch of trash. And you do not output in terms of caloric burn, which would be nearly impossible. Then you can expect that your physique not be the way that you want it to be. Another way of looking at it is just simple as a bank account. Every day your body, based on your genetic makeup, has a certain caloric burn that you're going to burn just by waking up, blinking your eyes, chewing the gum, drinking your coffee, walking from here to the car, eating your dinner, working out or not working out. You just have a metabolic rate, and that has everything to do with your genetics and how you eat and how much you move, right? So the food that we put in has value, and so for example, 4 ounces of chicken is about 140 calories. Let me see, I think 2 Reese cups, because I like Reese's, I won't lie. 2 Reese
I want you to
cups.
know that I'm with you on the donut addiction.
Hey.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
I got some other ones too.
Well, donuts are really, they're circular, they're round.
They're fluffy.
And they're
cute.
fluffy and cute.
Yeah.
And people,
kinda
they
like
make
pasta, cheese, and chocolate for me.
I'll say no.
Why?
No to the cheese
potatoes.
and no to
And
the
bread.
pasta. No. See? You're messing up now.
Okay. Go ahead. You were saying.
And
the Reese cups.
The Reese cups have 250 calories for 2 Reese cups.
Okay.
1 scoop of protein, depending on the brand, is about 110 calories.
Okay.
1 grapefruit is 120 calories. Okay. So a half a cup of rice is about 110 calories. One slice of bread, wheat bread, is usually about 110 calories. Sometimes you can get them as high as 150.
Okay.
1 cup of broccoli is 30 calories.
Oh, okay.
1 cup of spinach is going to be about 15 calories. Certain foods have different caloric value. So your brain function, just your brain, needs at least 1,200 calories to function. So in the event you're trying to lose weight, what most people do is stick to that 1,200 calories.
Okay.
So all they do is feed their brains.
Okay.
That's all you're doing.
Okay.
So that will help you lose weight if you're only counting calories.
Okay.
But then you take into consideration, you work out.
Yeah.
Are you nursing?
Yeah.
What kind of lifestyle do you lead? Are you sedentary? Are you extremely active? Are you not very active? You know, those things also have to do with how much you have to increase your calories based on that initial 1,200.
Okay.
Talk about that a little bit because.
Hey, let me finish.
Oh, go finish. Oh, she's not finished. Go ahead.
So those things have an effect on how you look.
Okay.
The more calories you burn, the more calories you require.
Okay.
Because the goal is to constantly give your brain at least 1,200 calories.
Gotcha.
So for example, I think my caloric burn is something like 4,500 calories.
Okay.
So depending on what I want to do, if I want to increase my weight, then I'm going to eat closer to 2,500 calories.
Okay.
Because that's a little bit more than half of the calories that I burn. And I work out every day. My metabolic rate is probably a little higher than that, but we'll just say.
Okay.
So you want to eat a little bit more than what your normal metabolic rate would be or your caloric burn would be so that you can increase your weight.
Gotcha.
If you want to lose weight,
Okay.
reduce that number, then what I would do is I would stick to usually about maybe 1,500.
Okay.
And depending on how much I want to lose, increase or decrease kind of from there. Or how fast I want to lose it.
Okay.
Because it is a direct correlation. So 3,500 calories is 1 pound.
Okay.
If you eat 3,500 calories in one day, the next day you are absolutely going to be 1 pound heavier.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
those things all make sense in terms
Yeah.
of how you want your physique to look.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
all right.
I want to. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask you. I'm gonna go going back. Let's go back because you're a mom, and the purpose of this show is to encourage mothers. Who, and mothers are always going over this issue. How were you able to, kind of delve into your business while raising your child?
Honestly,
Was it a hard road or was it?
well,
things
yeah,
fall in place?
no,
Okay.
no,
Tell us
absolutely
about
not.
Your path.
So as I started, I was lucky enough to be able to still have a career. So I was a pediatric nurse for a long time before that, and I really was able to make a transition.
Okay.
And I was kind of frustrated. I got bit at work by a boy.
Oh,
And
that's terrible.
given shots. And that was kind of the enough for me to realize that it was time for me to go.
Yeah.
We didn't want to catch a case around here,
I was thinking about, I could slap the mama.
Could you have
Get a boy a whooping.
School?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so, yeah.
Those patience of the gods.
Okay.
So for me, it was selfish.
Okay.
I had to learn how to be selfish and really regimented with my time.
Okay.
I account for I am neurotic about time.
Yeah.
If I say I'm going to be here at this time, then I'm going to be there at this time. And that really has come from patterns, dealing with my business.
Okay.
If I work 9 to 5,
Okay.
that means that I can only take clients from 7 a.m.
Right.
to 8:30.
Okay.
And then same thing from 5:30 until 7. And that's what I did.
Okay.
I would see clients on the times that I could. Most times it would be in the evenings after I worked. And what I would do is I would try to sneak out a little early, go pick Bree up. And sometimes she wouldn't want to go.
Okay.
Go pick her up. And if she wants to stay at home, I just make dinner real quick. And then, shoot on to the studio, and I was lucky that everything was kind of in the same area. So my apartment was literally right down the street. So she would FaceTime me, you know, during my sessions. And I'm a single parent, or at the time I was a single parent. So she would FaceTime me during her sessions, and that was just enough to give her comfort. But it was probably the hardest thing that I did for about I mean, I didn't realize how lazy my child was until she was like 10. I'm like, I told you 17 times to clean your room.
But is that lazy or is that just kids?
I think what happened for me is it didn't register that, Rashida, you never really taught her what clean your room means. So from, you know, 7 to 9, she just fended for herself.
Right.
I'll never forget, I came home from seeing clients and I smelled fish. And I'm like, she done let somebody in my house to cook some fish. And so I'm like, you know, bright-eyed, trying not to let the boil of the anger get to my throat. Right.
Turn into a...
So I say to her, I'm like, Bree, I smell fish in the house, real aggressive. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, but why? She said, well, I made some fish. What do you mean you made some fish? Well, I made fish. Yeah. How did you make fish?
Okay.
How? Well, I read the directions and I took it out of the packet and then I put it on the stove and I watched it and then I seasoned it and I ate it.
She was spending for herself. Did you kill her or did you just kind of like, she's cool?
Yes. I was like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was, I couldn't believe it.
Oh my gosh. So she's becoming self-sufficient at this point.
She but knew how to make tilapia, but not the bed.
Oh. Because the bed doesn't require
the
survival.
Bed or directions.
No,
making the bed does not require directions.
There was no book with pictures that showed her what it's supposed to look like.
I don't think there was pictures on the tilapia bag.
I'm gonna tell you this.
But I
was there to teach some people in my family how to do the bed every day. Still don't do it. So don't feel bad because I just think they just not.
Well, come on to Iron Core. I'm gonna show you how to make a fist and you tap them on the top of the head, and then they somehow learn how to very quickly make the bed.
Okay.
So the bed is the least of our worries at this point. But it was definitely one of the hardest things I did, most sacrificed things that even now. I mean, I get to see Bree some mornings before she goes to school, and you know, most times when she comes home from school, I'm still at work. So
but
some
certainly
afternoons
she benefits from it because you're happier. You're not getting bit at work. That's a nice thing. And a happy koi is a good koi, right? A safe koi. You know, so and I'm imagining she's probably picked up a lot of great habits.
You know, I don't know. I can't say one way or the other. I think that she is, what I would say is she is aware of how important, like our parents, I'm sure that you all can share, our parents didn't teach us about food and food value. Right. So it is very easy for her to identify and make the correlation. Well, I don't really feel good. Oh, okay. Well, when's the last time I ate vegetables? Oh, it's been 7 days since I ate some vegetables.
That's incredible that she can think like that.
She makes that correlation, and then she also makes a direct correlation between, okay, I've been eating Pop-Tarts for the last 5 days.
Right.
I probably should ease up on the Pop-Tarts and eat some fruit because my stomach is starting to stick over my belly. So those things I don't have to teach.
Well, talk about that a little bit, because that for me was a big part of my challenge, getting control of my nutrition, because all the kids, everybody eats something different. Fortunately, I don't have any food allergies in the house, but they're all at different stages. You know, Jinlei, she's about to be 17, so now she's like, I would like salmon and steak and a spinach salad. You know,
you got salmon and steak, spinach salad money.
But I mean, you know, I mean, it's there, but usually that's me and Dad.
Okay, yeah.
You know. And, you know, the other ones are on, they're still in that land. Chicken nuggets, mixed vegetables,
and applesauce.
Oh, right, whatever it is. And so you always tell us a thing about the kids and their nutrition. Tell them what you tell us.
I think that as adults, we think about our nutrition as separate from our children's when it's not. They are humans just like we are. You teach them how to express themselves, how to put their clothes on, tie their shoes, all of those things. It's the same with their food. Their food is a direct correlation to the way they feel, just like us. There's no mechanical difference. They are small humans just like us. And so poor nutrition in children, I actually feel is just, I probably will get lots of you guys will probably get lots of hate mail for this, but I do feel this way from my heart. Poor nutrition in children is the parents' fault. So what's the difference between not feeding your children and overfeeding your children? There's no difference to me. So both to me require more than conversation about nutrition and how to teach the parents how to feed the kids. But there shouldn't be, if you don't eat chicken nuggets, and I'm not picking on you, I'm just using your food.
Yeah.
But if you don't eat chicken nuggets every day, why should your kids?
That's true.
You know, if you, and not every family can afford to eat salmon and asparagus for 7 people. But there are other things that you can do. You know, you can buy things in bulk. You can shop at Aldi's. There are
Aldi's is wonderful.
It is wonderful, and they're all organic.
Yep.
You know, and they have, the thing I really like about Aldi's is they have things that are in season. So when you see things like blueberries or we'll use figs because I love figs.
Okay.
Figs are out of season. So if you see them in bulks and bulks and bulks now, you know that they are genetically enhanced. Or grapefruits. You know, grapefruit, people don't realize you can't get it in the summer. It's a fall fruit. So those things like that, there are things like that to me, you know, we just have to always be aware of. And you can simply make things.
Grapefruit, I always considered that a summer fruit.
It's not. But you can make simple things like tuna, you know, rice, frozen vegetables, all of those things you can make very simply, and then just be creative with the things that you have. But there should be no separation. I don't believe in diets. I believe in, you know, dietary awareness.
There you go. Talk about it some more.
And
and hear that, everybody.
And nutritional awareness. Like people who go on diets, that is a diet should literally refer to the way that you choose to eat, not food restriction. Not food restriction. I don't believe in food restriction. I believe in encouraging whole foods. So things that are whole, things that you can recognize. Okay, I can see that this is an egg. I can see that this is a chicken. I can see that this is rice. I can see that this is broccoli. I can see that this is watermelon. I can see that this is strawberry. A fruit salad, that's a lot of different fruit. We're not gonna eat that
unless you made it yourself.
Unless you made it yourself.
Gotcha.
Unless you made it yourself. Or a fruit cup. A fruit cup is probably a better example.
A
fruit cup.
So
you get a canned peaches. Well, how long has it been in the can? How long has it sat on the shelf? How much syrup is it really in? How much of that syrup is absorbed into the peach? Is it sitting in there? Is it marinating like meat? Is it embalming fluid for fruit? What is it? What is it? And high fructose opposed to low fructose, well, how much is high?
How high is high?
How high is high? So there's a lot of different ways that you can look at your food. So for me, I think that I try to push whole foods, especially for children. They don't have control over breakfast. They don't have control over dinner, and they don't have control over or breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Right? Because breakfast sits at school, right? Or
sometimes.
If you're at home, then give your kids an opportunity to choose what they want for breakfast. Because they might not like oatmeal. And if they don't like oatmeal and they want Frosted Flakes, then give them Frosted Flakes.
Okay.
I mean, is
cereal in its milk?
Cereal in its milk.
Better than Doritos.
Better than Doritos. And even in cereal and milk, you can choose almond milk. Or cashew milk. Or coconut milk. Or rice milk to, avoid all of the fats from animal milk.
Okay.
And then lunch, they eat school lunch unless you pack.
Yeah.
And then dinner, they're forced to eat whatever you make for dinner, which is usually, if you're a working mother, dinner of convenience, or if you're at my house, tilapia, frozen tilapia.
Or if you're at my
cooked
right.
Or if you're at my house, we took 3 to 4 pounds of chicken on Sunday. Some was in the crock pot, some was in the oven, some was on the grill.
That's right.
And we added with rice or salad.
That's it. You don't have to make things single serving. You absolutely can make 17 of those. Hey, look in that refrigerator. There's some chicken thighs, there's some chicken legs, there's some rice, there's some broccoli.
Do it at the grocery store. They use the same thing.
There you go.
Keep it right there.
That's
expiration date next year forever. But it's funny. I'm just thinking about our own. Like I remember you were talking about your family history as far as eating, and on my mom's side, she didn't come a long way because my mom was a country girl. Y'all wouldn't know that, but she's a country girl. But in her time, they lacked money so much that if you didn't grow it, you didn't farm it, you don't eat it. So
and Rashida has a farm in her backyard. We're gonna take pictures of it.
It's a llama. She makes her own wool.
She has an alpaca.
Yeah,
we're just kidding.
Named Murray. Oh, we're just
kidding. We're talking about fruits and vegetables, y'all.
She is getting some chicken.
I am getting chicken.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But that was how my mom. You had chickens, you had eggs. There was there was lots of soybeans. They made bean pads. Didn't know it was a thing.
Right.
But when I was growing up, it was always a meat, a vegetable, a starch.
That's the worst way to eat.
Is it? Well, and that's what we've always had. A meat, a vegetable, a starch.
You know why we learned that?
Well, it was
exactly. That's exactly why. But guess what, honey?
What?
You not that no more.
Okay, well.
You not that no more.
No.
You not that no more.
So what is it? Is this a premium thing?
The best way to eat is what I call complete eating. So there's only 3 things. Your food is digested only 3 ways.
Okay.
Proteins feed protein.
Okay.
Protein is your muscle. So proteins feed muscle.
Okay.
Fats lubricate your system. They give lubrication to your joints and to your colon.
Okay.
And carbohydrates, which would be all fruits, all vegetables, and all other starches, provide you quick sources of energy. Okay. Now, the amount of carbohydrates will determine how fast they move through your system, just like the different proteins. Beef versus chicken versus eggs move through your system a little quicker or slower based on the type that they are. So the best way to eat is to give your body 2 choices, and that's it.
Okay.
So a meat and a starch.
Okay.
And spinach is a starch.
I was just gonna.
I did not know that.
All fruit and vegetables.
Carbs.
I don't know why for the last 3 days I've been like bags and bags and bags and bags and bags of spinach.
So you're probably low in iron somewhere.
I am.
There you go. And your body is the.
I just want meat, and I see
do you eat liver?
Chicken and.
Do you eat liver?
You know what? I don't eat my liver. But I eat my dad. I'm not a liver eater. I only eat it if my dad makes it.
So ask him to make it. Okay. So and then I bet you'll feel better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I won't need it for like another 3 months because I'm like me and liver and beets. Like beets, I can't.
Ooh. I'm about to eat one now.
Go ahead. You go right. I'm gonna watch.
But it's not beets from the can.
I know. No, I don't never eat that. I mean, when I do eat it, I don't eat that. I'm not a beet. Beets, cauliflower, but everything else I can do.
I don't like cauliflower, but I love beets.
Yeah.
I'm not really an onion girl. If I see them,
I love
choke them down.
Yeah.
But I am not like, ooh, girl, let me put some onions on this.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Well, at least we agree. We have a cauliflower. I have a problem with cauliflower.
Yes.
And I actually did try. I actually, because my dad doesn't like cauliflower. So I was like, I don't like it. So I said, no. let's give cauliflower a chance.
Please don't do that to your children.
No, I didn't. No.
Let them eat everything.
Yeah, I did. No, they love cauliflower. I let them eat it. You know, they talk about
You're
me.
serving.
I talk about that. That's
Here's
fine.
mine. Here you go.
Yeah, I don't know how to cook it, but you know, I don't let them even cook it because I don't want to have anything to do with it. But I tried to roast it. I tried to boil it. I tried it with different spices. I even tried to boil it.
I'm gonna tell you how to make it. You cut it up and throw it in the toilet.
That's a great way to be.
Just cut it up into little fine pieces. Break it up. You can even break it in your hand. Break it up in your hand and then dump it in the toilet. That's the same way you eat celery.
Y'all are some nuts.
You don't like celery?
No.
Oh my, that's okay.
Tastes like dirt.
She only likes it if I cook it in etouffee at Thanksgiving.
This is true.
Well, let's all visit Miss Nina.
Yes.
Yes.
But I need my own. I'm not gonna share with
Oh,
you.
okay,
No,
that's fine.
she had to have a special pot which had a sign on it which said
Do
this
not
is for
eat.
Rashida. Do not
She
eat.
will fight. Cash me outside. She good with these hands. She like praying for people. She used to work for Ernest Ainsley. You will be healed with a T.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
My goodness. Yeah.
No, but working with Rashida has done a lot for me because I used to think of diet as food
Right.
restriction.
No.
And you know, she helped me
Yeah.
get over that, and
I had
even
to snatch.
Right.
That was not a help. She's like, well, I'm breastfeeding, but I'm gonna eat 1,200 calories. What? What do you mean? You're starving the baby.
Well, since you put it like that.
No, she helped me. Well, and the other thing is like understanding, you know, things she just explained about protein feeding muscles and, you know, et cetera, right? Because my thing was, okay, so if you all hear little voices in the background, the children are around,
This is
and
the reality,
I'm not
though.
going to be able to edit it out, so
No.
it's just there.
Right.
Um,
This is the real. Y'all know this when you listen to the show. Come on, she got.
I don't know what he's singing.
that.
He has headphones on.
Just worry about your own self.
Right.
Yeah, how about that?
Worry about yourself. Right.
So, but you know, I had to just begin to think of things differently, and one of the things that she really helped me with was the idea of giving up the idea of snacking, but rather just eating meals when I was hungry. Eating a whole meal, like, no, you can have a piece of chicken at 2:00 if that's what you want. Have that and some spinach and you'll be fine. You'll be much better, trust me.
Please.
Have a sweet potato. It's okay. You don't have to find little snacky things. If you just want something crunchy, get some almonds with some siracha stuff on it.
Because dancers do that a lot. They always get some crackers and stuff, and I feel bad because I'm like, I don't really want a cracker. I want a cheeseburger. That's what I really want.
Well,
You
but
know?
then you have to think about what it is that you really want.
Okay.
What it is that you really want is the fats.
Yeah.
What it is that you really want is the casein in the meat.
Yeah.
So it's not the burger itself.
Right,
You
right.
can have this. You can satisfy what your body is telling you need
Right.
if you understand food.
Okay.
That's really it.
And that's all it is.
That's all it is. Like, people don't know you crave chocolate. Like, honestly, I hate to say this, but if you ate cauliflower and broccoli together, I know, I'm there with you, friend. Your chocolate cake craving would dissipate because chromium or cauliflower and broccoli are high in chromium.
Can I have broccoli with chocolate? Don't do that.
Well, but see,
Dark chocolate?
then we just kind of a little bit defeat the.
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit.
But again,
But that's
talking
point. That's good.
talking about not going on the food restriction train. So we've talked about Nina's mind and the way it works many times on the show.
Right.
And so Rashida, when we first started, because we were, you know, once I kind of, the baby is like eating food and I'm not full-time nursing and all those kind of things. And so she's like, okay, we can do 1,200 calories now because we had specific goals we were trying to meet in that period of time, right?
These goals change as your body.
Yes, absolutely.
She adjusts with me. We gonna get there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I called her one day. No, I texted her.
I'm just gonna get. This is how I read the message. I'm just gonna get surgery. I was like,
But it was really like,
"Hello, excuse me, Nina." So what I was thinking is, let the baby get 5 first. before
It's
we
true.
Wait,
Because once
but
you
listen,
do anything.
I was appalled. I was like 5. What the hell you mean 5? Because my oldest is about to be 17,
Right.
and the youngest one is 2. It's like I've been waiting
All these
17 years.
No, you
fix
didn't.
your-
To
No,
get
you didn't.
to get my body back.
Well, you shouldn't have kept starting over.
There you go.
You shouldn't have kept starting over. You hit the reset button every time.
Rashida bangs the table.
Right.
That's right.
But
Do
you-
it again.
You know what?
feel so bad.
So anyway, I was having a moment because I'm 5 feet tall. So I mean, I'm not tall, guys.
Yeah.
Short club here, and so the babies grow out. So I have excess skin. And there are days when I just feel bad about it. And I'm like, can we just go
No.
and let them tighten that up? Just that little piece right there. And she's like, no, can you give me some time to work?
Girl. Dang, girl. We got to work on the collagen. We got to get the muscles right.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even
Freak,
lying to you.
put the organ music on.
I have seen a lady. Two. One had breast cancer, and I'm sorry that she went through this, but after her breast cancer surgery, she had breast implants done and a tummy tuck.
Oh.
So she had those muscles tightened
Right.
and zipped up, right?
Right.
What do you think happens to the fat? And I've seen it on multiple occasions. So unless you have to get to a certain size and be able to maintain that. And
It
I
sounds
just
like
felt
there's
like
no-
we
there's
weren't
no
finished
shortcut.
working.
Right.
There isn't.
There's
I
no
mean,
shortcut.
now
That's
if
what
you
you mean
have
by
just
simple.
if
Yeah.
you have skin like sweatshirt,
Yeah.
then that's something different.
Right.
But once you go in there, you start cutting and tucking, and
Yeah.
you don't, and your body is not ready, your skin is not ready.
Right.
You're gonna
Yeah.
be back in another year or two.
Right.
So save them coins.
Yes, child.
Go to ironkoi.com.
That's ironkoi.com.
Go
But-
there and look at the pictures. Look at.
Yep.
Do you have the before and after?
I do not. Honestly, I
She
don't.
does. She don't know I got them.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
It's
I mean,
just her face,
feel
but
free
you
to
can
post
see
them,
it.
But I was the
But those are-
quintessential big girl. Like
Okay.
I was not like a let's take a full body shot kind of person.
Oh, okay,
We
okay.
gonna go this from the neck up.
Yeah. Right.
So there aren't very many pictures, and I think I could find the one that I did with Makeup Junkie, and even then I probably was a little smaller
Yeah.
than what I had gotten up to.
Okay.
But
It's funny when I worked in a gym. It's funny because I don't like gyms to.
But Kenya used to work in a gym, and they used to lift her for fun.
I know remember them days. They can't do it no more. But that's okay. That's
can.
Okay. Oh, go on then.
No, she can.
I know she can.
lifts me.
Okay.
There are times when she has
can.
me
Look at
to
this.
do something,
This is all muscle.
and I'm on the floor, and I'm
Come
like,
on,
help
girl.
me, and she just picks me up like I'm a little piece of paper, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot.
get up, I see it.
But I'm telling you, when I worked there, I would almost, you get a lot of people who come in for vanity, but it's funny because all of the trainers you wouldn't see us staring, but the big girl who came in or the big dude who came in, those are the ones that you really wanted to work with because you knew just for them walking through the threshold that they were serious, because to walk into a gym is even for me, I was like, this is so intimidating.
Yeah.
So when you get to the point where you've made up your mind and you want to get to the gym, that's a lot of fear that you've already had to
That
overcome.
right there
Yeah.
is why I started Iron Koi.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That right there.
That's
Because
terribly
It
fearful.
took me probably.
And this is me working there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a year and a half to be able to go during
Yeah.
what people would call peak hours.
Oh, okay.
So like lunchtime
Yeah.
would be peak hours,
Right.
evening would be peak hours. It
right,
took me
right.
about a year and a half to
Right.
be able to do that. And so
Right.
when you walk into Iron Koi, it is not bright.
Right.
It is not super jovial. It
Right.
is not a yellow wall.
No.
It is
Pictures.
it is not, there are no pictures.
Right,
It is,
right.
a cave
Yeah.
for work to get done.
Yes.
And
that
that's
is
what
very
happens.
intentional.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not looking, I don't want to welcome you like,
Right.
hey, come on girl, let's
No,
hang out.
no.
Hey, come on, let's lift these weights.
Yeah, right.
And however grit and grimy and ugly it may look, that's what we're going to do to get it done.
And I think that's what attracted me to Iron Koi, because as a dancer, it reminds me a lot of that. It reminds me of that dusty, dark studio that doesn't have all the, except for yours was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
But it reminds me of that. And for as an artist, for me as an artist, that's a lot of what we do. We all have to, as artists, go to a place that, is not the prettiest place, but we have to go to that place in order to be able to shape our work and kick it out.
Now, let me take what you're saying.
Okay.
Now, imagine that on a physical scale.
Okay.
On a simple physical scale.
Gotcha.
So, in order for you to go from 235 to 135,
okay,
you got to go to a dark place.
That's right.
In order for you to go from 205 to 155, you got to go to a dark place.
Right.
Dark, selfish place.
Yes.
And that's exactly, it does not feel good, and it's going to have some tears and some wrestling and some cuss words in there.
Oh yes, lots of cuss words.
Lots of cuss words. Ooh, see, I knew I had liked it you because I had liked the cuss word. I had liked the cuss word.
Yeah.
So those,
shit.
Right.
Rashida, what's going on?
That's definitely going to be like, you gotta dig in a different place.
That's
so
true.
even 10 pounds, people think, oh, I can lose 10 pounds real quick. As soon as you
I've been
one half of a cheeseburger, it'll be right back. Yeah. So anytime you're doing work, it's to yourself, and to me, weight loss is about so much more than just the physical appearance. It is literally, especially for Black women.
Come on,
especially for us, we're responsible for nurturing, for caring, for band-aids, for groceries, for loving, for hugging, for
changing the world.
Egos. We're responsible for everything. We have to work. We have to take care of our kids, our husband, our the car note.
We gotta harmonize it all.
Right. All of those things are things that we're responsible for. And to me, in order for you to be the best you that you can possibly be, sometimes you got to put them bags down.
Right.
And so that my space is literally the place where you put the bags down.
Okay.
So I'm not interested in how glamorous you are, or how wonderful your car is, or how your workout gear is, or does it match or coordinate, which I am today.
She is. She's fabulous.
Good too.
Which honestly is not my usual person. But those things make a difference in terms of the way the work that gets done. So I like working out I like correlating working out to just rediscovering yourself. I think everybody is a superhero, and you have superhero abilities, but you have to sometimes rediscover that you have those. It's like crossing your eyes. Like as an adult, how often do you do that? Probably never, right?
Never.
So you have to remember, right? you got to retrain yourself on how to do it. So just learning to rediscover that you're really a superhero and that limits only exist in your own mind. Nina allows me to show her and remind her that her limits only exist in her mind. So she trusts me to know what I'm doing so that I can keep her safe. And as soon as she trusts me, she's reminded, well, damn, I can do it.
Because she said
I could deadlift 75.
She be having me, she just don't even tell me how much it is. She just puts the weight on now and says, go. And I go, oh. She said,
you don't even ask,
I don't.
How much does that weigh?
I don't.
Then she said, mind your own business. Right?
She just says, pick it up.
It's a little heavier. I might say that. It's a little heavier. And I go, oh, okay. Just so you have that initial, brace, but nothing more than that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you one more question, though.
Sure.
Do you encounter with your clients a lot of, mental breakthroughs?
Yeah. So I had a lady who doesn't have two ladies. Well, yes, to answer your question, and I'll give two very different examples. One lady was a smoker, and she smoked, developed a DVT, which is a deep vein thrombus, kept smoking, and she passed out one day. When she woke up, she had no leg. That's the only part of her leg that she has.
Wow.
So, she has a prosthetic leg from that attaches to what's left of her thigh she came in and she's like, I just need to get stronger so that I can walk better, so that I can feel better. I know that I'm totally dependent on this side. And so as she's walking and throwing her hips, she's not weight bearing on that side.
Okay.
So we had to do simple stuff like sit down and get up. Sit down and get up. Or pulling.
Yeah.
You know, pulling to reteaching muscles that she hadn't used so that her body can learn that it's okay to use those muscles. And her first session, she continued to smoke after, you know, after losing her leg. And I kept saying, you're going to suffer. And I would tell her that every session. You're going to suffer. And as soon as you stop smoking, you won't suffer. And for the first 30 days, she would like smell up the gym from smoking. I would have to like kind of schedule her around because the smoke would be too much for me. And I'd be like, you're sweating like this, but and you're suffering like this because you keep smoking. And eventually she was able to stop. And she came to me and she just started crying. I was like, what are you crying for? Like, the gym is not meant for tears. Like, we don't do that in here. Like, did you stub your toe, girl?
Yeah, right.
What is happening?
What?
Coach.
What are you doing? Is that water? Is there the sprinkler loose? Like, what is happening here? And she just was crying. She's like, you know, I have to go back to the person who makes my prosthetic because I can't fit this one anymore. She's like, I've lost so much weight. I've stopped smoking and now I can't fit this one anymore.
Wow.
So, and she's just crying. She's like, you know, I've never thought that I would be able to be where I am now, not smoking, feeling better about myself. And she would, I mean, she would have like a little bit of gait issues, but even that, she was able to minimize just from working out. Another lady, she was laying in her bed with her children and somebody shot through the window and it caught her in the hip. And she had a metal rod in her leg. So lifting, it took me like probably another 2 or 3 months maybe of just watching her on the elliptical and moving her hips. I'm like, well, something's going on. And so I asked her, and she's, you know, very reluctant. And she's like, I don't know, I just probably tired. And I would, you know, I challenged her to jump. Like jump on a, I don't know, 6-inch box. From the floor to 6 inches. Most people, when you think about jumping a 6-inch box, it's like, I could do that. That's a step. No big deal. She couldn't do it.
Oh, wow.
So I would stand in front of the box and hold her hands and make her like jump and pull her towards me. But simple things like that. Just retraining the muscles to learn to work. And same thing, as she's jumping, it's registering to her that she couldn't, and now over time she's been able to jump. So she just, same thing, started crying. I was like,
are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
It's like, hey girl, what's that wet stuff coming from your eyeballs? Hey girl, do that.
That's a sensitive side.
Hey girl, no crying in the gym. There's no crying in baseball. All right.
So absolutely. We definitely have breakthroughs, but it's all at the person's time. And there are some that don't. You know, they come here to lose 10 pounds and that's it. Their life is perfect. Their marriage is perfect. Their kids are not bad. You know, I get a wide range of people.
I want to be in that range.
Me too. Me too.
Oh my gosh. Where can we catch you? Where can we find you?
I am on Facebook, Rashida Van Leer. I am Iron Koi has a Facebook page. Iron Koi, IRONKOI. On Instagram, Iron Koi. IRONKOI, all one word. Twitter, same thing, Iron Koi. If you're looking for me personally, I am on Instagram as my name is Rashida.
We'll put it all in the show notes. We'll link you up so you can find her. And the last thing before we go, If you could give the people out there one thing to take away, because often people say the hardest thing to do is start. What would you leave them with?
I would say learn to be selfish. Learn to be selfish. Learn to be selfish. Yeah. You can't change yourself without starting with yourself.
Right. That is wonderful.
I love it.
Me too.
Learn to be selfish.
I'm not gonna shame no more because I'm
Please
I'm
don't.
not
Please don't.
Bootylicious, but
yes.
And you know what?
Somebody's perfect.
That's true.
That's
Thank
me.
you.
And you gotta think about this. Your body is listening all the time. So your legs is like, hey girl, I ain't never gonna work because you keep talking about me.
Okay, I'm gonna stop
there. You go. You got to love them things.
I love you. It's funny because my daughter, if she hears me say one thing about myself, she's like, stop, I don't want to hear anymore. It's traumatizing to her. And I know what that feels like because my mom she's a big woman. She's big boned. she's meaty.
We don't say lies. No such thing as big bones.
I know, right? You know that, right? But when I would hear her say those things about herself, I'm it's a fight because I have to stop doing what she's done. Because in my eyes,
and that's so hard.
It is.
We say that
it's
all the time.
Hard.
The hardest thing to
hard.
do is do something different from what your parents did.
That's right, and that's probably the hardest thing right now that I'm just now, like as of a couple days ago, realizing.
Yeah.
So my mother used to say, I used to be like, "Oh, I hate these big old arms. These big arms are so stupid. They're just so big and so dumb looking. I can't never fit no jacket and all this. I would be, and my mom was like, that's okay. You just got big arms so you can carry your babies.
The face Rashida just made.
Used to be so upset, but they are. The children are listening all the time.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are.
Yes.
All right,
Miss.
But before we leave, we have to do our home and give her.
Yes, because we have to give Rashida her solo. One more again. Ready? One more again. Ready?
Here we go.
5, 7, 12.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're so awesome. You're my best voice. Ooh.